Welcome back. Now we want to do the same thing like we did with pictures in the last tutorial, creating an identity, knowing a world of images. Now we want to create an identity knowing a world of concepts on text. So it works the same way, and it's a little astonishing. I started with the image to get a better idea of what it is about. So it's a cosmos of the words of a person in a book or in a library and so on. So let's start. So instead of saying ID image create, we had it here, we go for text create. You see it's completely symmetric. Text create, you can ask what it is and says, okay, that's good. So we call that Ackermann text. It's another identity. Now we need here a number. Okay, go here. We have it on texts. That's images. Go here for texts. We have it always a code, basic level, and this is I want to discuss. So ID create, I need the size of the concept 6 is good. Now he's asking for which book. That's Ackermann. You can have a whole library as we did it with the pictures. So now we go here. You see here our status bar. Now is he creating a dictionary for this book. So Ackermann has a certain vocabulary, and this will be the reference for his understanding of the world. So we create that. And now within this dictionary we organize all the text fragments, and then we create this spectrum within his dictionary. I think it's very important that it's not a dictionary of the world like we have it with Google. It should be a dictionary of a book or a paragraph or your library or a set of books, and then you can start discuss and calibrate things, and then it's getting interesting. If you don't have an absolute reference, then it's getting circular for each book, and then you can calibrate things, and then they can talk. This is how communication works. So you don't have common ground. This is what we have with the Copernican turn. Everything is turning around itself. And you're in flatland if you have a strict reference. I think it's very clear. Therefore, I first create a dictionary, and then I say, look, what is the play of words within this dictionary? So this is how this identity on text works. So we created it, and now we can show it. Take it here, for example, like with the image, but not Fraser, but Ackermann. So, and these are the place of words of Ackermann. And you see it's talking about photographic, here it's Palladio, photography, Toma, century, draw, and so on. Renaissance, aesthetics, Renaissance, origin, Renaissance, architect, architecture, sketch, record, plan, build, prospect, beauty, library, courtesy, church. And you see the colors somehow sort areas of similar things, and all the fragments are sorted. And each of the fragments of the text, so you see 48 here, 31 are sorted with these fields. So if you go to, for example, here with aesthetics, or here now for the more, you see draw, plan, elevation, you go for the technical things, you select that, and if you want to see the selection, then, because in text there are much more fragments than in pictures, I had these structure. You see this is a whole library. We can look at it later. And here we have sub. Where is a sub? Oh, interesting. ID text sub. No. Text zoom. ID text zoom. Ah, here. This is what I wanted to show. I have to fix it here, that you can find it easily. So it's ID text zoom. So then we say Ackermann a zoom. Ackermann text zoom is this from Ackermann text. And we want to have a resolution of 3. And we want to show that directly. So ID text show of this. Okay, let's see what we have here. So, and then we see the 44 here, we zoomed in. So now we have less, landscape pattern Roman, level, draw, section, build, we go here. And if we now say ID text selection, like with the texts, off, and now we need the zoom of this, then it shows links to these kind of game or play of words on stage. So we have this because we can't use it as reference because this is not saved. Make it back, save this document in my working environment, save, untitled. So, and now go here, and then we see this request number 15 in document untitled. This is a link we can use, and this request has different parts of the text playing around with sectional build. So if you go here, you get it as original. So another one, they play a similar thing on page 212. So you can go to another place, theory, there's more theory here, and you can update it. And France, Louis, language, New York, Athens, plan, and here we are with another scenografia and so on. You see it's playing around differently. So, like with the pictures, interesting is if we can look it up here now. We have Ackermann's. So we have the metadata, we have our notebook, now we have the dictionary, we have the image ID, and we have the text ID. So you see these files are not very big. They just have, they sort links towards the database. We can go here with the database, you see Ackermann, and we always use these keys of UUID. So, and they're just sorting it in a different way. Now we worked on a single book to get an idea what this book is talking about, and go to certain pages. And now we can do the same thing with a whole library. So, and ID text open and I already did it. So this is our library. I already did it. Therefore, we can go for our architectural here, and we take the whole thing, and it's here. It's some T. I is the images of the library. So now it's loaded. You see it's fast. You don't have to learn it. And then go for the same command like we did here. If we want to show it, it takes a show on the library. And then it shows all the concepts of your library. This takes long because it's a lot. So, what cities, world century, bridge. Here's more on work, on people, on things like, there's a social things on traffic. Yeah, Piranesi, Siena, Borromeo Mini, house, city, trade, in my library. Each library is different, or each set of books. So you see now there are 1,000 fragments here, 700 here, and so on. And this definitely needs a zoom, which is done like this. So we need the library zoomed. We told this is a lib zoom, and now we say we want to have 6. This takes a little time because you have to rearrange all the things, and here you see the things. If you go then, for example, build people here, don't make this then dynamics, it takes too long. And here we are, zoom in. Go in here, and as we had it here, and say lib zoom, and then we get Christopher Alexander, Cronon, Garreau, Piranesi, Walker talk about a topic here. Downtown city, downtown mile. Then they talk about this. So, I think you got the idea. There, and find it interesting. And you have to realize that all this is abstracting from the amount of books. And you simply can ask questions, and then you can read around, always the same steps, independent of how vast this information is. So, and then it's like on a party, you simply start talking with people and who you find interesting. That's, I think, that's it. So now, my mobile. Okay, now there's another aspect. You see in my documentation, you have the things here. Show the status, create an identity, show all the identities. So it's a big one. So then you can ask here, for example, my library, this is a citation from a movie. I can ask my library, the whole library, or I can ask the sub-library, but it takes a library, to a citations from a movie. And I want to see 6 of these things. And then you see the correspondence, which might be nonsense or might be interesting, but it's up to you. Of course, the library doesn't know about movies. So, but I can go, for example, here, just to show you that it's working. Go, for example, we have it here, go to Christopher Alexander. We have it here, take this here, Wallaby, take a subsequence of it, and now ask the subsequence. in our library, and look what's going on. Yep, it's Alexander. Yeah. We have the place. And he's talking this language and about these things, whatever it is. Magic of the city. So go for the magic of the city. If you want to know about that, go for the magic of the city. You can write whatever you like. And you get it. Yeah, the technology of the fantastic. Colas, the life of the artist. Chronon. Where is he? Something. There's an old format. Technology and the fantastic. Baby boom in the age of subdivision. That's interesting. With the fantastic. Okay. Yeah. So, I think you can play around with it. So take a citation from one architect and ask another one, or these kind of things. The next is, of course, you have plain texture. This is working like this. This is a database command. You can say on Fraser AI, look for model and computing, and then you get just countings of the words. But this is much smarter. So you can have here, because it just tries to get there's no absolute reference. So here you simply have to count words and look, and if there's a misspelling, you have problems and so on. Here, it's somehow robust. So if you take another word, playing around with magic, it's still working. If you have here, the village would not be of big difference. It's just coming. So look, see, it's absolutely robust. Not using any of these words, but it's matching. Good. Having this both with the full text. Now the identity, you can open that. This is what we had. We can navigate that. That's right. And this is the heat map. So this is what I really like. So you can say heat map of go here and say the magic of the village in lib. Then you see it's here at this place. It was 3, which means if you want to have a magic in the city, it should be here, if I'm not wrong. These are good in the magic of the city. Hopefully it is not inverted with images and graphics and so on. I have to check it. It's a little strange. Maybe it's working. So, but you can do a heat map of a whole text. So therefore, for example, you can have mtp db get. So this is how to get things. Get plain texts. We can check. So of a book name. So we can, for example, say Alberti on painting. So these are our texts. Just to show you how it is. So this is from database. These are 689 texts. So, and we can put it in here to the heat map. So just this third element. So we go here and say it's all and the third. Then we have just the text. We put that to normal. And then we have a list of texts and take these thing. We can make it, so you see it's fast texts, and we can ask our library for these texts. and we get a heat map of, so now these are the regions of interest of our library towards Alberti's own painting. So, and you can do it more. We had a book, a single book here. This was Ackermann T. And we can do the same with the, now we can add, if Ackermann text is reading Alberti, or the other way around, Alberti on Ackermann. So you see here and here, these are the resonances and the special interests of Ackermann on Alberti. So then you can go to these maps and play around with these fields of interest in games of words. So I hope you got an idea how it works, you find it interesting, how to work with texts, and how to sort things, and how to bring them on stage. And see you in the next movie, where we will make an experiment. We make a stage play of different architects and you, the director. Thanks for watching.